Hello, geometry scholars. My name is Mr. Benzel, and I teach geometry over at Huron High School for those of you who do not know me. So what we're going to talk about today is how to be a successful note taker in geometry class. And it is really, really important that you are taking notes on the videos before class. And we're going to talk today about how you can do this so that you can have a good experience learning geometry. So I want to kind of talk about the importance of note taking and why you need to take your notes first. So below is a common geometry problem. And if you actually kind of look at how this problem is set up, you can actually see that the actual math and computations itself is not, too involved in terms of algebra. Now, one step that is kind of missing here, and there's kind of one more step that I would put in the beginning, is that this is a 90-degree angle, and I'm just adding the 2x plus 18 and the 36 to get a total of 90 degrees. But you can see that sort of the problem-solving process here, it's just kind of like a multi-step equation from like the early days of Algebra 1. So you may be wondering, why do students get this type of problem wrong? And what it comes down to is that, a student may not know, what a complementary angle is. That's what these two angles are, complementary angles. And these are angles that add to 90 degrees. So the only way for you to learn geometry is if you know your vocabulary. And students who take notes and are recording the vocab in your notes are able to understand the vocabulary a lot better, and consequently know what to do when they have a problem that looks like this. Okay, so why do we do sort of a flipped classroom, and why are we continuing this, and why is this sort of a non-negotiable? Well, one, you can watch the video at your own speed. So the videos are up 24/7 actually. And the material is there for you to learn. You can pause or rewind whenever you need. So sometimes, if you're in kind of before pandemic geometry class or any math class, you may feel like that the lesson went too fast for you. But the good news is that with a video, you can actually kind of adjust the speed. And if you need to spend more time thinking about a concept, you can. And I even encourage you to do that. And in essence, when you are writing your own notes, you're actually creating your own textbook, and you can actually refer to your notes when you are working on a Delta Math assignment or even a mastery assessment as well. And also, this is going to help you be prepared for college, because in college, you will be expected to be able to write your own notes in the course. Or even if you are choosing to go somewhere else other than college, if you are sitting in a meeting in a job, you need to take notes of what is going on in the meeting. All right, so how do you create good quality notes? So I want to kind of showcase good work from actual geometry students who have turned in really good notes. So step one is clear and effective definitions. So anytime that there is a definition mentioned, you need to make sure that they are made clear. So you should be using the same language that we are using in the videos at the minimum. You should be also including a picture of what it looks like and a written description as well. Now, what this student does particularly well, and what I kind of like, is that they are actually using color to illustrate key points. And this actually increases the level of clarity. So if you have like a colored pencil at home or a marker, I will tell you when I look at students' notes, I love color. Step 2, illustrate examples. So what you should be doing on the actual problems is write down what the teacher is doing in the video when the problem is being solved. So this is kind of like board equals paper. You may want to, after you write down the example, go back and summarize the steps in your own way. And you may want to think about, as you are writing down the steps, how did the teacher go from one step to the next step? How does the picture and what the problem look like impact how the problem is set up? And really good notes even write problem solving tips on the side. So you can kind of see some examples of this here. We have pictures matching with vocabulary words. We have steps in the process written on the side. And we can even see checks for work as well. So when you're reading this, you can kind of understand the vocabulary and what it looks like visually. And then you can also, have a step-by-step example to work off of as well. And then step 3, this is, I would say, best practice, is show your learning process by writing down tips on the side. If you have questions or maybe feel confused during note-taking, it would be a really good idea to actually write down questions that you have about the material on the side. And actually, when I read students' notes on Google Classroom sometime, if I see that a student has a question, I even like to respond to their question. And you can kind of see that there's notes and observations in the process written in these notes. Now, I understand that some students don't really like writing and they find the task of writing very tedious. Maybe you're somebody who just likes doing the problems and find that the exercise of writing down is tedious. What you can do instead is take screenshots on a Word doc of the examples that you see. Now, don't just take screenshots and not listen to the video. Actually spend some time writing down some key vocabulary words and key points. And we'll kind of be showing you an example of what that looks like here in a second. So my challenge to you this semester is to extend your thinking by building a foundation of good note-taking. And both of these sets of notes on the left and right are really good notes. So what you actually see on the left is a good handwriting of notes. Even the student writing questions on the side and writing tips on the side, writing down all the examples and steps for the problems. And the student on the right, what they actually did is they took a screenshot of a part of a video and then they highlighted vocabulary. So they actually did not have to do much writing and they could actually have a document to study off of that was clear and easy to follow, even if the student, had bad handwriting. So if you need help with note-taking and would like some ideas about how you could become a better note-taker, please reach out to me or your geometry teacher, and we would be happy to come up with a system for you so that you can have an enjoyable experience in geometry. So I wish you all a productive semester. My name is Mr. Benzel. Feel free to email me if you have any questions. And Happy New Year.